What is up, you guys? I know it's been a long week. It is Saturday, the 13th of June, and we are doing horror movie reviews. Today, we're doing things from the shelf. So, I haven't reviewed any of these movies, but I am proud enough to say I own a hard copy of all of these movies. So, that being said, I'm going to tell you why I decided that I needed to own a copy of it on Blu-ray. So, starting with number one, we're going to go with Pumpkinhead. If you guys haven't seen Pumpkinhead, you are missing out horribly. The practical effects of the creature are unbelievable. Pumpkinhead is adorably terrifying. The kill scenes in this movie are fantastic. If you guys haven't seen Pumpkinhead, here's the premise. Okay, so this guy and his son live out in the boonies, and there are a bunch of traveling teenagers that are vacationing out in the middle of the woods. And so his son, Lance Henriksen, who is the guy with the kid, Lance Henriksen has an errand to run, and so he leaves his kid at the house, and the dog gets out, and then an accident ensues. Now, there's this crazy old swamp bitch that lives out near the old pumpkin patch, and there's rumors and stuff, and Lance Henriksen remembers seeing stuff as a kid, and all of this, and so he goes and he brings the body of his son to this witch, and some stuff happens, and then we have a Pumpkinhead. Amazing. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. Everything about this movie was brilliantly shot. The creature effects, again, like I said, are just stunning. And I mean, Pumpkinhead's like 8.5 feet tall. He's a big fucking guy. This movie is fantastic. If you guys have not seen Pumpkinhead, you need to see Pumpkinhead. If you have seen Pumpkinhead, then you know what I'm talking about. So, that's number one. Getting that guy out of the way. We're going to move on to number two, which is Ginger Snaps. Now, I know a lot of you are kind of iffy about this movie because it's very heavy based on adolescence and growing up and stuff like that. But this movie, hands down, has got to be one of the best werewolf movies I've seen ever. Ever. Not the best, but one of the best. We'll save that for another time. Anyways, so basically, these two girls are sisters, and they're kind of the outcasts of the school and everything, and they're real weird, and they pretty much stick to themselves. And one night they're out walking around, and sure enough, there is werewolf, and one of the sisters gets pretty fucked up. So as the movie progresses, there's more physical attributes that are changing about her as well, which again was brilliantly done. This movie is real solid. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this movie. The transformation scene was very slow, and it took the course of a few days, which was kind of cool. I mean, this movie is fun, it's entertaining, and it's very unique in the way that the story is told. So, that being said, you guys need to check out Ginger Snaps. It's worth your time. It's definitely worth my time. I watch it a lot, obviously. Moving on to our third is going to be Frailty. If you guys haven't seen this, now this isn't for everybody. This has Bill Paxton and Matthew McConaughey in it. And I know it's kind of weird, but this movie was kind of so. I remember seeing this movie in the theater. This movie had a very slow burn to it. Whatever. Anyway, so it's about this. It's kind of a two-part story here. It's one guy going in to talk about this case to this FBI agent that's been unsolved for a long time, and he knows all the answers, and he's going to show you where, all the bodies were hidden and all this stuff. But in the same sense, he's telling a story of exactly what the FBI agent wants to hear, which is all completely true. So the story that he's telling the FBI agent to get him to follow him out there is about the this dad and his two sons, and his dad has been given a vision, and he can claim that he can see demons, and now it's God's will for him to go and kill the demons, because all of these demons are horrible, horrible people. So yeah, the demons actually appear to be people. So as the movie progresses, you realize that Bill Paxton's character is either out of his goddamn mind or 100% correct. He's teaching his sons how to identify a demon. One of them figures it out, and he gets it. I can't tell you much else about this movie. There weren't any real monsters or anything in this movie. There's a shitload of violence. There's a lot of suspense as well. This movie is fantastic. You guys, if you haven't seen Frailty, you need to see this movie. It's worth your time. I mean, that's what we're doing on list time today, I guess. Number 4 is this movie called It Follows. This movie blew my ass off. We went and saw this in the theater as well, and it has a very, very unique new kind of feel of horror. This movie didn't necessarily really have any monsters in it either, other than this movie was fucking scary. Parts of it were real scary. It was very suspenseful. It was very new for what it was. This girl goes out with this guy, and they end up having sex, and then he shows her what he gave her. So basically, the monster in this movie kind of functions like an STD. So he passed on this curse, more or less, when he slept with her, and it follows you. It will look like somebody that you know or somebody that you don't know. It doesn't run. It doesn't move quickly. It just walks very, very slowly towards you. And then once it finds you, it will just murder the shit out of you and mangle your body. And then if you die, the person who gave it to you then gets followed again until they pass it to somebody else. So it's a very weird premise, sort of. But it's got to be, I mean, this movie was hands down one of the best movies in 2015 that came out. One of the best horror movies, hands down. The soundtrack was amazing. The acting was pretty good. Just the general feel of this movie was really it was really scary. So, if you guys have not seen this movie, It Follows, you should. Is Drag Me to Hell. If you guys have not seen Drag Me to Hell, You are missing out. Drag Me to Hell is Sam Raimi's apology letter for Spider-Man 3. This movie is so fucking funny. It is so well done. It is right on the same level as Evil Dead 2, and this movie is amazing. This movie is so funny. So it's about this girl who works in a bank and she's trying to get a promotion, and this old gypsy lady comes in because the bank's gonna foreclose on her house, and she's just trying to get more time and all of this stuff. And because she's trying to get this new position at the bank, she has to turn her down, and it does not go very well. A number of things about this movie that are just incredible. There is the comedy aspect of it. There's the gross out aspect of it. There's the horror aspect of it. So she ends up getting cursed by this old gypsy woman, and then she dies. The gypsy lady dies. So there's no way to break the curse. I don't want to tell you guys very much more about this movie because this is an experience that you have to go through. It's hilarious. There is a lot of gross stuff. There's a lot of things about this movie that make it one of the best Sam Raimi movies ever made. And they make this movie look a lot scarier than it actually is. This movie's hilarious. If you guys have not seen that movie, Drag Me to Hell, you need to see it. You need to see all of the movies on the list that I have told you about today, because I own hard copies of them, which means they must have been pretty damn important to me. So that being said, that is it for me. It's kind of nice to not have anything to do on a Saturday for once. So, anyways, that's it for me. I will see you guys at some point next week for another horror movie review. We may or may not have a guest on or not. We will have to wait and see. I will see you guys, yes, next week. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell button so you know when I post a video about whatever dumb shit I'm talking about. I hope everybody out there is staying safe, and I will see you guys in the future. Shit, I forgot what I was saying. We were talking about It Follows. Right.